Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more Zero Hour. Welcome back to another 1v1 match. Today we're on a map called Stonehenge. Absolutely beautiful map that we don't see all too often. And this is a replay sent in by a viewer, which we'll mention in a second. Up in the top, we have the USA Laser in the green. This is a Madlax. I actually recognize that name. Have we seen one of his games before? Have we at least seen him in the lobby or something? I feel like I may have. Down in the south position, we have the GLA Stealth with the pink. This is insanesloth. What a name. Sloth is one of the coolest animals, I swear. Anyway, this is sent in by the pink player, by insanesloth. And he sent it in to basically congratulate Madlaggz, because today is a very special day for Madlaggz. Exactly today, he has graduated as a doctor, I believe. So a massive shout out and congratulations to Madlaggz.
Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
I was only chatting with my my little boy just a few days ago. Because he talks about like, oh, when I'm older, Daddy, what am I going to be? Or what do I want to be? And he always wanted to... He's always said up until recently he wanted to work in a sandwich shop, but then he wanted to own his own sandwich shop and sell his own sandwiches, which I think is pretty cool. But we were recently talking about different possibilities. I'm not going to force him into anything, but I was talking about some decent jobs, being like a doctor or a dentist, or having a trade or something like that, as well as being options. And yeah, I think being a doctor is a massive thing, a super important and probably underrepresented. There's probably not enough of them. So shout out and congratulations to Madlaggz. Not sure what type of doctor he's going to be, but really, really cool news. Let's see how he's going to do here, because insanesloth is also asking for feedback on this replay as well. See if we see any opportunities for improvement, which I do already, by the way, which is these two Chinooks that should be collecting on different piles. You will collect your economy slightly faster. Technicals came through. Loads of RPGs. There's a worker inside of there as well, partially inside of the technical. RPGs going to work on the V, and that is quite a nice rush. So the green player, Madlaggz, has secured the middle position and getting the oil. Is moving his war factory to the middle. I'm already liking this. I like it when people send me replays and ask for feedback. I like that. But I also like it when you get weird stuff like this. Like he's captured the middle, building his base in the middle already. So very weird situation. I like this big tech RPG blob as well. If you know Vivid, something that I think Vivid kind of popularized more so. Going for that initial TNT and then going with a big blob of RPGs to drop off a worker. insanesloth is losing some HP on some of these RPGs. Ambulance comes out. Does not quite get the crush. I probably would be selling buildings. Like a big pro tip is if you're losing buildings, if you let the enemy kill it, you don't get any money back because you haven't sold it. And you're also giving the enemy XP. You see how some of these RPGs are like Vet 2, Vet 2. I think that technical is also a Vet 2 from killing some stuff. If you're going to lose a building, just sell it. Do not give the enemy XP. Veteran cease. Ending that V there. Oh my goodness. insanesloth is completely decimating the base here of Madlaggz, who's completely moved to the middle. He needs to get maybe a fire base, but some occupation in some of these buildings. insanesloth is just complete. I wonder if this is the reason he sent the replay, because he completely decimated his mate. Yeah, congratulations on becoming a doctor. Here's a replay of you getting absolutely demolished by your mate. He said that his dozer forward. Oh my god. Is that his last dozer? It could be his last dozer. He's getting wrecked from all angles here. Is Madlaggz going to stand any kind of a chance? Is he going to stand a chance? I'm hoping it continues a bit more, because so far this has been just some perfect play from insanesloth. He's been collecting on 2 full supplies. Got an idle worker there. Only got 3 workers collecting. It should be 6. If we're going to nitpick and find little things pink as well. No, he hasn't expanded, actually. That's one downfall. He's got 5.2k then. He did have. He's queued up some stuff now. But it definitely should be expanding. You can also do it on the high ground, I believe. Although the low ground might be fine too. So Madlaggz only has these 2 oils here in the middle. He does have flashbangs now, so he's going to clear that out. He basically needs to withstand the storm. Before we move into the next phase of this replay. But another V there has gone down. Insanesloth has got an insane amount of XP compared to Madlax here. Using the ambulance though now. That War Factory needs to survive. If he's got any chance of winning this, it needs to survive. But it's looking insanely bad for Madlax, isn't it? Because I thought Insanesloth wasn't expanding and building up his base and his infrastructure. But he is actually. He's getting on a 3rd and 4th supply. Plus the palace. And he's harassing as well. And green is completely surrounded. The advantage is for Madlax, he might blend into the terrain here. Picking green on a green map. If you look on the mini-map, it is actually slightly harder to spot. I think on desert maps, like pink apparently is harder to spot as well, which is why I take pink sometimes. So here comes a drop of a load of MDs. But I'm not too sure that's going to quite work out. No laser lock there from our green player, from the laser. Yeah, I think that could have been better handled by Insanesloth. Like, why didn't he have at least, like, 4 quads or something? I think that even that quad there is a little bit late out. But the laser lock is non-existent, so this should be quite easy to clear up, really. As flashbangs now killing the workers. Laser lock finally does come in. Leaves the quad low. Quad clears up everything. But yeah, it does look like pink Insanesloth has slowed down a bit. He was floating like 5.5k. At one point, the expansion was slow. There's no oil capture. There should have been a higher number of quads there. The palace is now up. I would be building another tunnel to put some RPGs in there straight away. But Madlax, is this the comeback that he needs in this game? He loses 1v. Jean-Michel came out at just the wrong time. And Madlax is doing a bit of a comeback. It's a bit of a wacky game, and I like it. But yeah, it's a criminal not to have RPGs inside of there. Whenever I do that, I get slated in the comments. So we have to slate people back. No RPGs in the palace. To be fair, a lot of like high-level pro replays, sometimes that happens. Is he going to come back now? The advantage is for Insanesloth is that he's stealth. He can just drop down loads of stealth tunnels. Get loads of RPGs. They're obviously invisible. You pop out and pick off some of these Vs. That can be your defense. There's a low quad heading out. That can be your defense. But meanwhile, you want to prepare a technical, few TNTs, go in and hit some of these buildings. It is looking like a comeback. I thought this was going to be a complete stomp, but green is coming back heavily here. Definitely needs to save that building. It's like Insanesloth didn't quite know how to go into the second part of the game. He came in with a massive tech RPG blob, the tunnels, the quad pop, wrecked the base in a few minutes. But then, yeah, his follow-up was a little bit slow. Maybe he got overconfident. The thing is, now that this Pathfinder's out sniping the Jean-Michel, the Jean-Michel shouldn't be that far out anyway. Because it's not like he's demo. He's not going to be planting bombs there. He's only going to get found by Vs. He wants to be in and out of the tunnel, snipe 1V and go back inside before Pathfinder can get you. Technical is out. Yeah, Insanesloth is just not paying as much attention anymore. That was one of his only chances to get some of these buildings with a TNT. But he wasn't paying attention to it. Madlax should already be dead, but there's a lot of Pathfinders out here. He's heavily expecting a TNT. Yeah, he's moved Pathfinders now as well, so they're all being found. There's a lack of hard-hitting units, though, from Insane Sloth. He's just got these technicals, but no RPGs inside of there. The RPGs wouldn't have done anything anyway, but you're not going to be able to click on a power and kill it anytime soon. One V does get picked off there, but there's so many Vs now. And so many missile defenders inside that the tunnels get cleared up easy. So we've got a little like enclave here and a little enclave here now, split down the middle. It's quite a weird situation. I don't think I've seen that on this map before. Don't see that this map that often anymore, actually. Yeah, these replays well, sorry, this replay. I was supposed to receive some replays, but I only received one from Insane Sloth. But I only received it this morning. So I got on it straight away. Because it is today that Madlaggz has graduated as a doctor. Some serious effort must have to go into that. So the ambulance has been picked off here. There's a few Vs going down. That technical is out. I don't know if that's the TNT. Is it a TNT that's going on Insane Sloth's view? It is a TNT. Here could be a beautiful spot. You could get the power and the war factory in one. Oh, what? Oh, too many Pathfinders. Also, that wasn't all terrorists. There was some workers in there too. What's inside of these technicals? He's trying to click on it. Nah. You know what? The thing is, Insane Sloth knew how to open here. He knew how to open with the tech RPG blob, the tunnels. Everything was perfect. But the problem was he wasn't expanding and building a palace and building everything else back at home at the same time. He didn't know how to close out the game. And I think for that reason, it looks like Madlax is coming back. What a game of two halves, man. I mean, that's assuming that he still closes it out, because if some of these are huge TNTs, you might be able to break through the Pathfinders. Yeah, a lot of Vs, no toe upgrade. Might be worth having it at the minute since you have so many Vs. Just think about the firepower increase that it would give to that army. It does have a lot of Hellfires. Even here, though, you see, I don't think he's still not collecting on different crates. You want to be collecting on different crate piles. Whoa, a few of these Vs going a little bit too close to the tunnels now. It's a little bit like death traps here, really, isn't it? So Insane Sloth, what he wants to be doing now is getting that oil. He's got a barracks right there in 4.2k. So there's no excuse for not making a rebel getting that oil. And building a palace in the back. And when you get to palace, then you can just build a huge line of tunnels. Make sure you've placed the CC and getting the bounty money, because I don't even know if he's getting that. But then you want to get a few buggies out and just be popping in and out, relying on the tunnels for the tank in the defense. Yeah, he's not getting the bounty money here, which would be absolutely massive in this super close game. This is actually quite an insane game. He's coming back a little bit, picks off a few Vs, but the main army of the Vs rocks back up and clears that out. So this is the last base now of Insane Sloth. There is a pink dot in the top left, though. Just the barracks. The ambulance has been sent to the front again, if I'm not mistaken. Has been picked off. Please continue. There is a few technicals. That's a bit of a panic move there from Insane Sloth. What they should be doing is coming in from a side and just picking off one V, not just running in like that head on against all of the Vs. They want to be picking off a V from the side whilst the Vs engage the tunnels. But it is scary when a big V blob like that rocks up. You're about to lose the game potentially. And the rest of the base of Insane Sloth here is going to get picked off. Even if that's the most amazing TNT in the world, I can't see it winning the game. No, it's just a random technical. He is rebuilding down in the bottom left. Now it's going to be whack-a-mole, basically. Madlaggz is level 5, but it doesn't make a difference. He doesn't have a dozer. He's getting veterancy in some of these Vs. Needs to make an ambulance. And I also would be getting the tow missile at this point. And insanesloth has been defeated. Madlaggz, on his day of graduation as a doctor, has defeated, from the jaws of defeat, has defeated insanesloth. That was quite an insane game, actually. I thought for a second that was going to be a complete stomp with Pink winning easily. The person who sent me the replay. Sometimes people want to show off. They send me replays. But that was a really epic comeback. So I really like that. The way it's Tale of Two Halves, and kind of surprised me with who won there in the end. But he's asked for tips and stuff on this. I'm going to jump back in and give tips to both players. Maybe we'll try and pick out like 3 key things for both players.
Congratulations. Congrats.
Okay, so jumping back into this. Now, it's a bit of a strange one. I suppose this one point about going to the middle and building so heavily in the middle is probably a tip for both of the players. So from the beginning, Madlax does probably what's considered a bit of an unorthodox build. So if we just fast forward it a tiny little bit, he's going 2 supplies and he's doing 3 Chinooks and then prioritizing getting out a Ranger to this position with the capture upgrade, and then sends a dozer to the middle as well. Now, and he's got the 2 Chinooks collecting here where you can't double collect. You can't collect off a crate and another crate. Like here, for example, you can collect off a crate and a crate. So if you are going to do the 3 Chinooks, you want the 2 over here. And you as soon as the second one comes out, or even the first one, just click on a different pile to the one it's going to naturally collect that. Because your economy will be, I don't know, from this supply, like 10 or 20% faster or something. I haven't measured it exactly. But there'll be no queuing like there is sometimes on some of the supplies. I mean, maybe this is too far away to judge it, but there's usually always at least a little bit of queuing. You see that little bit of wait time there, like the few seconds. But this is quite an unorthodox build anyway. He's gone 2 supplies, 3 Chinooks, 1 Ranger, and gone for the War Factory, and then sent the dozer forward. Now, the reason I don't particularly like this, even though this is a bit of a weird replay, because in the end he ends up winning from a position in the middle. But if you see this first technical here, now insanesloth knows there's a dozer here and knows there's a Ranger. If insanesloth is paying attention, like super good attention, he can select that Ranger and see he's got the capture upgrade. So he knows that Madlax has invested $225 for that Ranger. He's got a dozer here in the middle, which obviously costs 1,000. He's building a barracks. And he's got the capture upgrades. Quite a lot of money invested there for Madlax. So if you, as insanesloth, now get that technical, put in 4 RPGs plus that worker, send it over here straight away. The barracks is only on 0%. You can unload there. 4 RPGs will kill that. The technical can deny the oil. You can drop off a worker on your approach here. If you're scared about a V coming in and picking off your worker, you can drop off a worker here. Or use them RPGs to go inside of the building and build a tunnel here. You know, like, it should be unstoppable for the GLA to reclaim this position. But if you look at what insanesloth is doing, insanesloth is actually just chilling with this technical. I don't know if he's typing, or I don't know if he's clicking on workers or something. But we've got to assume the players are going to be playing perfect. When you go up against a really solid player, like one of the top players, this technical RPG is going to be to the middle straight away. But this is only happening because Pink insanesloth is playing it wrong. He's going for this big death blob, okay? It's obviously something he's practiced and he knows it's good and works. But that first tech RPG should be here, denying that, killing that. Even if this barracks gets up, you can park the technical right outside, even there from the side. And as soon as the guy comes out, he gets shot and there's nothing you can do about it. Then the RPGs can go one in there, build a tunnel. You can still go back and do this big death blob, but you can also deny him from getting the middle, which actually probably would have won in the game. So it's a tip for both, really. A tip for Pink and a tip for Green. This build, honestly, is not that great. If you want to do that, you could probably still send a dozer forward and get some crushers. But with the War Factory, don't build the War Factory. With the barracks, send a Ranger and a few missile defenders at the same time. Put the missile defenders inside of there. Go for the capture. You can maybe drop down a barracks, but use the dozer mainly for doing crushes. But when you get inside of these buildings, you might be able to then get those oils. You can still do the barracks, I think. But that War Factory hasn't produced anything yet. So straight away, I don't really like the build of Madlaggz. Although it is a bit unorthodox and we'd like to see more unusual stuff. But in reality, against a top player, that's getting shut down pretty easy. I do like the instant laser lock. I like the fact he's hiding in the tree. I think that's a mistake. By accident that he's hiding in the tree. I don't think it's intentional. But the big tech RPG blob is really decent. But round about now, so he's got 1,600. Top players will be getting that worker and dropping down a supply straight away there. Also, I think... Okay, there was enough workers there. There was enough workers there. Like you see here, he's now floating 2k, so there's no reason why that supply couldn't be dropped down. It's not like he's saving and using that money. So a faster third expansion there. So that's 2 tips now for pink. But the big RPG death blob is really decent. Another tip for green is, like I said before, don't let him get the XP kills. Some of these Vs that were just sent, like that Amber has got no chance against that many RPGs. Again, you've got to assume that the player's going to play perfect, and perfect would be all of this clicks on that Ambo. A good player knows that Ambo has got no chance against all of that. You need like 2 Ambos and some... I mean, the best way to deal with this is to laser lock all the technicals and then send the infantry to fight that. I actually think the RPGs in there, when they go in there, they can actually target these oils, so you can already be killing these oils. So it's just a matter of multitasking, to be honest. And he's still got 3k, so there's no reason why that supply shouldn't be there. That should already be built, fully established. With that money, you can also queue a rebel from there to there. That worker can then be sent forward, creeping forward here, which green has got that oil, by the way. Another wasted V here. Totally wasted. He's got 0 chance against this. Probably a bit of a panic move. And more buildings here being killed by green. Sorry, by pink. Of green. Which is just giving him more and more XP. Which he should have been using to place down a scaffold of a CC in about 200 XP. Because when you get to 1,500 XP, you get the bounty money. Place down the CC scaffold and then cancel it. And you'll be getting all the bounty money. But even here was like pretty good. Like that's the last dozer wasted. Of course, that's a mistake. You don't want to be sending it against this position. But I think after insanesloth had done this initial attack, I think he like faltered a little bit. I don't think from this point he fully understood how to close out the game. Like if you're not going to use that barracks to collect that oil, it could at least be making a TNT so you can come in and finish off these last buildings. Between there would be a beautiful TNT. You could come in with like 2 TNTs and finish off all of this, honestly. Maybe 3. But like here, he's on like 5k. That could be building. There could already be a palace started in the back. Like what you're seeing more and more pro players do nowadays is drop the palace nice and deep in the back so it doesn't get cancelled. Always make sure it's got some RPGs inside of it. But from here, honestly, there should be no way that Madlax is coming back to win. The palace has already started. But what I would be doing as well is when that palace is started, drop 1 and 2 tunnels here as well. I mean, he should have loads of money because that should be collecting and that oil should have been captured. If he's not going for a TNT. But drop down an extra few tunnels. So as soon as that palace is finished, the RPGs go inside of it, stealth it. You can even put the Jarman Kell inside of it if it gets that weird situation. But then you want to be just getting to buggies. Go inside the tunnel. Just spamming loads of tunnels everywhere. Going for buggies. And even if you're not going to TNT his buildings, just picking off them Vs, going back inside the tunnel. Pick off a V, go back inside the tunnel. It's unwinnable then for this player. But I think insanesloth just like kind of faltered. He had a really good start. Faltered from that point. He's just going for the last buildings. I think they're quite evenly matched players, honestly. I think that's why it's quite entertaining. Lack of workers there. This supply finally gets built, but there's only 1 worker collecting. I think one of these is idle, or it was before at least. Spending all of his money now, probably queued up with a bunch of workers. All along, even that's getting flushed out now, but all along that could have been picking off some of these valuable oils. That oil was bringing in money the whole time. But I mean, yeah, once that palace gets it. But all the way though, all the way through for insanesloth, there was even a point later on, if we fast forward to like here, he gets back on this supply. Still, that oil's not collected. There was a barracks here at some point. Build a palace in the back because you're just dreaming of that situation where you're getting the cash bounty, which you're still not getting. Getting the cash bounty and getting the buggies, and it should be unwinnable for the laser. Yeah, we're not going to watch the whole thing there again. Shout out to both players for insanesloth for sending me such a cool replay. Hopefully, I've given you some pointers and some tips there. And yeah, shout out to Madlax for finishing and graduating as a doctor. Really, really cool profession. And yeah, hope he goes on to have a successful career. GG, well played. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.
Congratulations.